All right, we are blessed to have the quality of leadership that we have, but I'll tell you what, we're all doing things for a reason, and this next segment is one of our heart-driven, one of the social business. I don't have the words right now. This is one of the reasons why we do what we do. And the gentleman that you're going to meet right now, his name is Todd Phillips, and he is as worthy as they come for your support. So listen to what he has to say, and I promise you will feel the importance of the mission that he's doing. So let's go ahead and bring up Todd Phillips, and let's listen to what he has to say. I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you. I'm going to drop out. This is all you, brother. I want you to just share your heart. Tell everybody what you're doing. Are we going to be watching a video as well, or is it just you talking?
Just me, Q&A, whatever you guys. I'll let everybody know what's going on, and if you guys have any questions, just let me know. I'm all in.
Well, tell your story, and then either me or Courtney will jump back on if we have something. But man, I'll tell you what, everybody listen to what he has to say. He's one of the best humans you'll ever meet.
Robert, you are the man. Thank you so much for this. Listen, Courtney, you too. Thank you both for letting me be part of this this event. This has been something I've been waiting for several weeks since you told me about it, and it's a real honor to be here. I'm Todd Phillips. I'm the president and founder of The Last Well. We have a organization that's trying to do something that's never been done before in history. We're trying to bring clean water and the Christian message to an entire nation for the first time in human history. It started about 12 years ago, and the country that we're working in is Liberia in West Africa. You may remember, a lot of people don't know where Liberia is. You may remember Liberia being in the news because of the Ebola crisis about 5 or 6 years ago. So, it's weird for us right now. COVID-19 is not our first rodeo. We actually went through a crisis like this, very regional, but a crisis just like this with Ebola 6 years ago. And it's really interesting to see this on a global scale right now. But it's also very cool that in the midst of all that, we're trying to provide hope and a future and life to an entire country where water is needed. A lot of people are completely unaware of the challenges that the lack of clean water create around the world, especially all of us in the U.S. or in Europe and some more developed countries. But when we got to Liberia and West Africa 12 years ago, 100 people a day, 100 a day, 4 every hour, 1 person every 15 minutes was dying from the simple lack of access to clean water, a completely preventable issue. 100 people a day, 1 every 15 minutes, and half of those people were children under the age of 15. We were losing people, especially kids under the age of 5, that were not able to see their next birthday, not able to get to their 5th birthday because they lacked access to clean water. And the young adults I was working with, I was a pastor in the Washington, D.C. area, and this actual ministry called The Last Well, this effort that we have in Liberia, started with a group of young adults who were faith-based Christians who were wanting to see the world change. They wanted to have a Wilberforce moment. This gentleman, William Wilberforce, you may have heard of before, he ended slavery in the UK about 200 years ago. He was a Christian. He really had a passion for God and wanted to do something great in his generation, and he ended slavery after a 40-year battle in the UK. Well, these young adults saw that there was a movie about this Wilberforce, and they saw this movie back in 2009, and they wanted to have their own Wilberforce moment in their generation. And so we all banded together to go after this mission. Now, 12 years forward, right now, we're in this tremendous amount of strife and turmoil and hopelessness around the world because of COVID-19 and racial injustice issues and everything else that we're dealing with right now. Really not just in the country, the U.S., but around the world. And what we've seen is an opportunity here to have a story of hope, have a story of unity, bring something to the world, a narrative, a story that can be shared out there that's the exact opposite of what we're hearing every day on the news. This is a story of hope and of life and of transformation, and we can all be a part of that. So Courtney, you and Robert have allowed me to share this story so many times. You're both personally and professionally involved. Your businesses and you as individuals are involved in helping to raise money and awareness for this effort in Liberia. And it's been a phenomenal journey, especially the time that I've been able to spend with you both. So that's really our story. And Courtney, I wanted to give us some time to do some Q&A if there's any questions from either your audience or you. about what we're doing, how close we are to being finished with our project in Liberia, and where we're going next. No, it's okay.
Man, so what I want to share with you guys is just connecting with Todd back in March. I think a couple years ago, someone told me and shared with me the last well and what you guys were doing, and I know I say it wrong, and we've tried for hours, like to get me to say well correctly, but the last well, WELL. We are going. Tell them a little bit about what we're doing in November, Todd.
Yeah. So Courtney, thanks for that. So we've this 12-year project we were trying to finish this project by December 31st of 2020. And as you guys all know, that's less than 100 days away. So this 12-year journey has come down to this last 100 days. And we have a small amount in reference to this, what's a $31 million project. We have about $350,000 left to raise. So we're 99% funded. And all of our teams are in the field. As long as the money comes in, we're going to finish by December 31st of 2020. And Courtney's actually going to be on our final last well celebration trip, where we actually watch history being made. We'll actually be sitting at the location where the last well is being drilled in the last village in the country of Liberia. And when that happens, every single human being within that country will be within a 15-minute walking distance of a clean water source. Now, you might be sitting in the States right now going, 15 minutes, that's a long walk. Well, some of these young girls, mostly young girls, go get water for their families. They'll travel 2, 3, 4, 8 hours round trip to get dirty water for their families, not clean water. And so this is a radical transformation moment for this country of Liberia, and really a megaphone for us to get the message out that we can reach other countries with clean water, just like we did in Liberia. And Courtney's going to be involved in this last well celebration trip. We're going to meet the president of Liberia. We're going to celebrate at the last well village. We're going to be meeting other leaders that have been involved with this since day one. It's going to be quite an incredible trip. And Robert's going to be involved with this. We're going to have, Courtney, you and Robert are coming. I know that. But we also have other people that right now are trying to kind of earn their way onto that trip by raising awareness and funds for that. So it's going to be a pretty exciting trip. I've been waiting 12 years to see all this happen. And it's an honor to have both of you on the trip and others that are going to be with us as well.
So you got to share with them, because this is one of the things that really got me, guys. Like, I feel like you can provide water, but not provide nutrition, and a child will die. You can provide nutrition and not provide water, and a child will die. And then you have children that are freed from sex trafficking, and if you don't provide them with water and nutrition, they're going to die. And so what I felt like needed to happen was connecting all three of these nonprofits together so we could make a massive shift. We can make a massive change in the world. And so one of the things that I heard and that really hit me so hard is that when the last well started providing all these wells, it actually decreased sex trafficking. And I want you to tell them the number, and I want you to tell them why it decreased sex trafficking.
Yeah, so that's a great point. First of all, Courtney, you've done a phenomenal job of bringing water, nutrition, and the reduction of sex trafficking into kind of this trio of humanitarian work that all fit together. I think that's one of the biggest challenges in work in the nonprofit and humanitarian world is everybody working together to accomplish these goals. So congratulations and well done on that. And in reference to water, these mostly young girls between the age of about 5 and 15 are going and getting water, as I said before, for their families. And as they're walking 2 or 4 or sometimes as much as 8 hours round trip, that's when they're most susceptible to human trafficking issues, being taken and never coming back home to their families. And it happens quite often. In fact, I think it's one of the greatest challenges in our generation is dealing with the breadth and the level and the depth of human trafficking in relation to these poverty-stricken countries, and specifically the topic of just getting clean or even dirty water to their families. And so when we decrease the travel time from 2, 4, or 8 hours down to 15 minutes round trip, we take almost completely take away the danger to these young women and allow them to come home safely to their families each and every day that they go to fetch water. So it's a radically transformative partnership or effect from water just getting access to clean water to these young women.
I love it. I love it. Take it away, Robert. Thank you.
I'll tell you, Todd, I love everything you're doing, brother. And we not just have the work side of that trip, but we also have the fun side teed up. So anybody that raises $25,000, I've gone ahead and put my team link in there for the group, so they know where to contribute. And I know that anybody that puts their hand up and says, "Hey, I want to raise $25,000 to go," they'll be able to come with us on the trip. So they don't have to pay for the trip. They just have to help raise money to help accomplish the trip, and you're going to go ahead and take them with us.
Yeah, that's right. There's several seats or slots that are available for that, Robert. They can join you and me and the rest of the team to come meet the president and really be on the front row of history. I mean, there really are very few times in your life that you have an opportunity to be a part of something like this. And I just can't stress that enough. Everybody that's listening to this, just know this. I have no dog in that hunt as far as the money is concerned. 100% of the money goes to Liberia. We have a small group of donors that covers my salary and travel expenses and things like that, so that all of the money, all of it, you raise $10 goes to Liberia to transform lives. That's it. So if you raise $25,000, you get to go on this VIP trip, this history-making trip, and all of the money is going to transform the lives of Liberians who desperately need clean water and a hope and a future. So I'm hoping that some of you will join myself and join Robert and Courtney on this trip.
I was just going to say, we will come back and visit this after. We've got to move on to the next segment, but I just wanted to say, Todd, I love the fact that you chose Liberia, because back 12 years ago when you guys decided to do this, Liberia was the lowest on the totem pole when it came to all countries in the world for quality of life. And the fact that you're changing that, I applaud you in your efforts. I'm going to do my best to raise $50,000 personally for your effort. I contributed the first $1,000 toward the goal I put in. I just put the link in for anybody who wants to share, and anybody that wants to participate and raise increments of $5,000 or $25,000, we've got special consideration for you. Myself personally will contribute for the $5,000 raisers, and then together collectively as a group for the $25,000 earners, we're going to take you to Africa with us. So thanks, Todd. Appreciate your help, brother. You're a good man. You got a heart of gold.
Thank you so much, guys.
You got it, brother. Be well.